Hello, everybody. It's Lynda West of Living Live, and I'm so excited to be here today to talk about a topic that is really, really hot, extremely controversial, and I have an expert here, Justin Recla, who's going to talk to us about it. Before we get started, I just wanted to share with you guys that I'm going to be speaking at an event called Massive Success Breakthrough, February 9th through 11th in San Diego, and I'd love to have you attend that with me. Attendmsb.com. Go there. This is going to be my first time speaking on a big stage. And so I'm really, just kind of a little nervous, but mostly excited about that. And then if you know anybody who has been talking about cryptocurrency, that they're not sure what they're talking about, or you're kind of unsure of what they're talking about, please share this with them. I want this information to be out there as much as possible. Justin, I'm going to read his bio, will give you a background of who he is and why he's really a person to listen to. He's not a guy who's out there like, I'm just trying to make some big bucks, which is a lot of the people in the crypto world are just trying to do. But so with Justin's bio, you're going to hear why he's the expert I chose to be on my show, because I really, truly believe in, giving all full disclosure, all information, and that's what Justin and I are going to do today. So with that said, I'm going to introduce Justin. So Justin has over 13 years of experience and advanced training with the U.S. Army and federal government. He's a subject matter expert in tactical questioning, which I don't even know what that means, surveillance, counter-espionage, threat and vulnerability assessments, and investigative techniques. He is an educator in concepts of effective communication and has taught hundreds of future federal agents how to conduct interviews and investigations. He's a leader in cryptocurrency due diligence and education, and is the co-founder of CryptoBit Verified, the very first cryptocurrency vetting provider, which we're going to ask him, like, what does that mean and why is that important to us? So that's something we'll cover for sure. Justin brings his skills from the military sector and delivers them to the boardroom to help business owners protect their two most valuable assets, which are time and money. Welcome, Justin. I'm so glad to have you here, and I'm glad you are interested in doing this with me, because this is going to be a lot of fun.
Thanks, Lynda. I appreciate you having me on the show. This is I think it's an extremely important topic right now. It's a hot topic, and there are, you look at the news, and there are people like remortgaging their homes, maxing out their credit cards just to throw it into Bitcoin. And as far as investing goes, it is literally one of the most riskiest things that you can get involved with. There's a lot of money to be made by all means, but unless you know what you're doing, it's like you might as well go to Vegas and throw it all down on the craps table.
Been there, done that. I don't do it anymore. Yeah, I did it when I was younger.
Yeah. So
didn't have a clue. First thing I want to say is, if you have any questions, you guys put them in the comments below, and then I will ask Justin. If we run out of time, what we'll do is I'm going to be interviewing Justin every single Tuesday, unless one of us is sick, at 2:30 p.m. Pacific time. So there's plenty of time for your questions. So we might not cover your question today, but we will definitely table it to either the next week or the next week, depending on how many questions come up. So again, put your questions in the comments if you have any. And so first question, from your bio, you are a cryptocurrency vetting provider. What does that mean?
So my wife and I are former counterintelligence agents with the U.S. government. We come from the world of espionage and counterintel. My wife used to do investigations and surveillance on individuals that were committing espionage against the United States. And my experience is over in Iraq and Afghanistan, getting people to provide us with our own information for our own intelligence gathering needs. And so for the last 6 years, we've owned and operated a corporate counterintelligence, due diligence, and vetting firm, providing due diligence solutions for business owners. And over the last year, we've been diving into the cryptocurrency world and recently launched our new vertical, CryptoBit Verified, which is cryptocurrency due diligence. And just literally the last 3 months alone, we've identified 90 some odd fraudulent scams that are a good portion of them that are no longer with us because they've come and gone and they're just non-existent. And we really recognize the level of due diligence that was not out there, was literally non-existent in the cryptocurrency world. And so we realized that our skill set would help people identify risk before they get involved with just anything, because there's so much to understand with cryptocurrency. It's not just an investment, it's an actual currency. We're teaching people how to leverage it, how to use it, how to make money in it, and how to understand the systems, how it works, why it works, what it does, what it was meant to do, and so forth, and really helping them mitigate their risk in the cryptocurrency world.
And that was my next question was cryptocurrency. What the heck is it? And maybe what isn't it? And what is it?
Awesome. So great question. The concept of a digital currency has been around for a very long time. It's been a concept that's been around for decades of exploring what that looks like. And we saw the transaction that we've seen the history of credit cards. That's a form of digital currency, right? So where even our current banking system is digital. I mean, how many people actually spend cash, right? It's mostly on a debit card. Well, that's a digital currency. So the concept of cryptocurrency has been around for a long time. And of course, the granddaddy of them all is Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is just one of about 4,000 new coins that are 4,000 coins that are out there. Ethereum.
So 4,000 coins are out there, and Bitcoin just happens to be like the granddaddy because was it the first? Was it the fastest? Was it what?
So it was definitely one. It was one of the first, but it's definitely the one that took off the fastest because of what it was designed to do. It was literally designed to be a global currency, a means of exchange that didn't rely on a central banking system. And really the brilliance behind Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is the technology, the blockchain, and some of the new technologies that are coming out. The blockchain is really, really what drives the power of cryptocurrency and blockchain and Bitcoin in general, because that's what allows for the Bitcoin to continue to do what it does, because there's a very limited supply of Bitcoin. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin in existence. And
that's like some of that stuff that, we'll have to dive deeper into that because it is it's convoluted. It's very confusing, frankly. And, I've been listening to it for about 7 months, so I'm kind of getting it, but I'm still like very green. But like you mentioned, the blockchain, that's something like we have to really dive into to explain the concept. As far as the central banking system, I have a question on that because a friend of mine asked, well, the dollar is backed by gold. What is cryptocurrency backed by? And if it's not backed by anything, how can it be sustainable?
So the U.S. government actually came off the gold standard in 1933. The U.S. dollar is only backed by the word of the U.S. government and the might of the U.S. military. It is the only thing backing it. The only thing that gives it any value is the fact that the Federal Reserve says that it is worth something. But historically, what has the U.S. dollar done? Depreciates in value, right? We have inflation, the buying power of the dollar decreases. The reason for that is that when you have an unlimited supply and you can print as much money as you want, through the law of supply and demand, the more you have of something, the less valuable it becomes. Okay. With Bitcoin, there will only ever be 21 million coin in existence. And as more and more people come online and accept it through the law of supply and demand, the more people that want it, the higher the demand, the greater value that it will have. So that's why one of the reasons why it's such a hot topic right now, all the conversations around centralized banking and so forth aside, really the one thing that's driving Bitcoin and the Bitcoin craze is the law of supply and demand. So what makes Bitcoin any different? Because the U.S. dollar is not backed by gold. It's backed by because the federal government says that it has value. What's the difference? The market, the open market, the free market, the global community that says you and I agree this has value and this is how much value it has is what determines the price of Bitcoin, because it's not centralized. There's literally 200 exchanges across the globe where you can buy and sell Bitcoin on. Each market has a different price for Bitcoin because of the markets that they serve. And globally, the more people that accept it is what changes the price point of what people are willing to pay for it. It literally is driven by the open market.
When you think about it, the dollar is the same, right? Because a grocery store decides how much they're going to charge for bread, and I decide if I'm going to pay for that bread or for that bread or for that bread based on price that was set by the company, correct? I mean, it's the same thing, just it's a different way of paying. Is that kind of accurate?
So, yeah, it's very similar, but the main difference is that the U.S. dollar has got $13 trillion of debt, meaning that there's $13 trillion that doesn't exist, that the government has to print more of in order to bring those debts due. So at some point in time, the debt ceiling, and this is why they continue to raise the debt ceiling is going to get so high that the amount of actual currency in existence, it's going to crash. We've seen this over and over again historically. It's back in 1928, the stock market crash, Black Friday and so forth. We've seen it over and over again. Germany experienced it during World War II, to where they had so much money because they were just printing it out that it became worthless. The only thing that we're seeing that's supporting it right now is that a good majority of Americans agree that it still has value, but the buying power of it decreases on average 3 to 5% a year, which is where inflation comes into. And so you could retire very nicely on $1 million in 1970.
Right.
Nowadays, $1 million retirement is not going to get you very far. So, and that's because the buying power of the dollar has decreased and continues to decrease over the years.
So would you say, well, first, let's get your disclaimer out there. You and I are both, we are not financial advisors in any way, shape, or form.
Absolutely. Not a financial advisor. I'm a processes and systems guy. I do risk mitigation. I understand the systems so people can make educated decisions for themselves. So if you're going to invest in Bitcoin, talk to your financial advisor.
Exactly. And I'm just an interviewer, nothing more than that. I'm a person who's very curious and asks a bunch of questions. That's basically it. So now that we got that out of the way, that's good. So a lot of people are speculating about Bitcoin that, it's going to crash. It's going to, crash and burn. And then the people who, made the money quick, they're the ones that are going to stay rich, or, because they'll cash out ahead of time. Like all this speculation. So what's your thought on the speculation that is out there? I'm sure you've heard it all.
Absolutely. I predict that it's going to continue to go up because we're just getting started. Less than 1% of the world right now even knows what Bitcoin is. In fact, we were in an Uber in Florida, and I asked the driver, "Hey, you ever heard of Bitcoin?" He's like, "What's that?" And I'm like, made me realize that there's so many people that don't even know what it is. We're literally just getting started on this, and it's really a huge wave. I think this is just my personal opinion, pure speculation based off of what I've continued to see, and that is I would imagine that we're going to get close to we're probably going to get close to 25 by the end of the year. I think we'll hit 22 this week. That's just my prediction. Because options just went live, futures just went live. I anticipate we'll probably see some big announcements from some large companies, but you got CBOE doing options. You got Chicago Mercantile Exchange doing futures. You've got Fidelity just announced a big partnership with Coinbase, going to bring 26 million new investors to the crypto world. McDonald's just announced that by the end of 2018, they're going to accept Bitcoin, and Square merchant processing services in 2018. If you do merchant services with Square, you're going to be able to do Bitcoin. And that's just the start. So imagine what happens to the price of Bitcoin when Walmart accepts Bitcoin, when Amazon accepts Bitcoin. Under the law of supply and demand, watch what happens. And I imagine that some people like John McAfee, his prediction, I think it's going to come true. Some people are saying that it's going to be worth $500,000 by 2020. I'm thinking it's probably going to be closer to, I think it's going to be closer to 50K by June and somewhere around 100 by the end of 2018. That's just my prediction as more and more people come online with it.
Wow, that's so interesting. Oh my gosh, it's just crazy because so would you liken it kind of to stocks, like purchasing stock? Like if you want to like, you love that question. I could tell.
I love that question, okay? Because most people who don't understand Bitcoin are just buying it and selling it, though, because the only way they realize the gain is they sell it off for fiat, which my personal opinion is about the silliest thing that you can do because you are trading a gain in Bitcoin that is a currency that you can use. And I actually teach people how to become liquid with it.
What is fiat? I've never heard that.
Fiat, that's another name for the dollar. So fiat is a law, basically the law that governs our U.S. dollar.
Okay.
And so a lot of people will buy Bitcoin low, they'll sell Bitcoin high, and then they transfer it back into U.S. dollars. Well, if they keep it in Bitcoin, Bitcoin has historically and continues to go up. But the reason why people transfer it back into dollars is because they don't know how to spend it. They don't know how to leverage it to make more. And that's one of the things I teach people to do is how to leverage it, how to make more money with it, and how to spend it. I paid my gas bill. I took my entire business trip on Bitcoin. I took my family out to dinner. I everything on Bitcoin. Okay, and it spins just like cash because that's what it was designed to do. It's Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. It is not crypto stock, crypto asset, crypto commodity. It is cryptocurrency, and currency is meant to be exchanged. It's meant to be in flow, creating more. And so that's the key thing is understanding what it was actually designed to do, and that was to be a means of global exchange between multiple people throughout the globe, giving something of value. Because what people don't realize is that the banks in 2014 in expenses and the fees that they charge people for transactions, they charged approximately $1.2 trillion in transaction fees in 2014 alone. That's approximately 2% of the world's gross economy. Okay, that's a lot of money.
Just in fees?
Just in fees, just in transaction fees, not in setup fees, not in any other fee, just in transaction fees. $1.2 trillion in transaction fees alone. Now imagine how much more money could be in the world economy left in your pocket if you learned how to become your own bank, which is essentially what Bitcoin is.
Okay, so so your own bank. So like Bank of Lynda.
See this right here?
Uh-huh.
We know what this is, right? It's a cell phone.
I got one.
I've got my Bitcoin on my wallet, on my phone.
That's right, because your wallet.
I got a wallet on my phone. I got a wallet on my computer, and I've got a wallet on the internet through Coinbase. And I can send money anywhere, anytime from my phone, from my computer, or through, I don't have my wallet here, through my prepaid Visa card that is backed by Bitcoin. And I can spend my Bitcoin anywhere that Visa is accepted.
Wow, that's huge.
It's gigantic when you realize that you can become liquid with it and spend it and use it and learn how to leverage it to create more. It's a very powerful tool.
So what I'm hearing you say there, I think that it's very interesting is if I carry my wallet with cash in it and I say I carry a $20 bill in my wallet today, tomorrow, and I don't spend it for like say 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's worth $20.
Worth $20.
If I carry my wallet of Bitcoin, it's possible that same $20 in US dollars could be equal to $40, $50, $60.
My wife
when I go to spend it.
Yeah, my wife calls it the magic refilling Visa card because it's literally, give you an example, I put $1,000 worth of Bitcoin in my prepaid Visa card account. I paid my gas bill. I paid my legal firm for the services that they rendered, and I took the family out to dinner. All in all, it came to like $600. Now, in a normal bank account, that means I would only have $400 left in my account. Well, 3 days went by, Bitcoin shot up, and guess what? I still had $1,000 in my banking in that account.
It's so hard to wrap my brain around.
The buying power of Bitcoin is huge. And here's the thing. I only spend my Bitcoin the coin that I allocate for spending, I only spend it when I know Bitcoin is going up in price. If it's going down in price, I don't spend it. And this is what I love most about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies is that from a spiritual perspective, it is literally bringing people into alignment of complete self-dominion over their own financial situation. And it's removing the bank did this, the job did this, whatever type of excuses and fears that people have around money. Literally, if I'm not paying attention to the price of Bitcoin and how the security of it and the control of it, then I'm just willy-nilly it. That's on me, nobody else. So really, it's bringing complete self-dominion over our own personal financial responsibilities and helping shift the way people think about money.
It's just a fascinating topic. I love it. But now, how do you know when it's going up as opposed to when it's going down? I mean, you mean literally like you can look at your account and see it going up or see it going down.
Just watch the exchanges and you'll see the price point because you can track the price point on Coinbase, Kraken. There's all sorts of different exchanges. Again, there's 200 exchanges where you can watch the price of Bitcoin going up and down on a daily basis, and it's just paying attention to some of the trends and recognizing that the nature of Bitcoin is to go up and down because it's a global currency. And my favorite argument, and we can get into this more, is that a lot of people think that the U.S. dollar has a huge impact on the price of Bitcoin. Realistically, it doesn't. That's somewhat of an egotistical standpoint because Bitcoin is global. And yes, it has an impact on the price of Bitcoin, but overall, it's a very small piece of the puzzle.
So let me ask this question. So I know Bitcoin right now is about 17, 18,000, something like that for one coin. So yeah. if somebody wants to get in, they don't have to buy a full coin though. They can buy a little small nugget of it, right?
Absolutely, because it's a currency. Any good currency is divisible. So just like the U.S. dollar is divisible. You have quarters, nickels, dimes, pennies, right? Mm-hmm. You can divide Bitcoin down to a millionth of a fraction, okay? And that the smallest unit tracked on the Bitcoin network is called it's called a Satoshi. It's 0.000001, okay, of a Bitcoin. And if you were to buy $60 of Bitcoin right now, $60 of Bitcoin is 0.00, I believe 0038 right now at today's at right this point in time exchange rate. So yeah, you can buy fractions of a Bitcoin. You don't have to buy an entire Bitcoin. And that's one of the biggest misunderstandings of what Bitcoin is and what cryptocurrency is that you can actually buy in fractions. And so that's how the bank account, the prepaid Visa card, fills up, because as the price goes up, when I swipe, it's actually it's removing fractional amounts of money from my account.
Okay. Oh my gosh. It's like so much. Okay, wait, let's talk about, you mentioned Coinbase and Recla, something like that?
Kraken. Those are just two exchanges that track the price of Bitcoin. Okay, where you can go, you can buy and exchange cryptocurrencies, various cryptocurrencies. Coinbase, you can buy Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin. And on Kraken, you can buy those three as well as some additional coin as well. So those are just exchanges that have a wallet on it where you can, what you purchase, it stores it in your wallet. Those are called hot wallets because they're connected to the internet at all times, and you don't control the private keys. But it's just, those are exchanges where you can purchase Bitcoin.
Okay. And somebody told me that they heard that Bitcoin can be hacked, or not Bitcoin, I guess cryptocurrency can be hacked. What's the truth on that?
So the biggest threat to Bitcoin, and this is why we teach diversification, is keeping your Bitcoin in a hot wallet. Online, like Coinbase, or online like Kraken, they have security. Coinbase has got really good security. If you get involved, whatever account you get involved with, make sure you enable your two-factor authentication. That will prevent anybody hacking your account and stealing your coin. That's the biggest. That's really the biggest risk to Bitcoin getting hacked, is that somebody hacks your Coinbase account. You don't have the proper security features set up. They go in, they hit withdraw, they take all your money. But if you have two-factor authentication in place, it helps prevent that. But Bitcoin in itself is solid. It would take literally a computer virus or a hacker to hack into the blockchain and hack millions of computers all at the same time in order to hack the blockchain, in order to have anything happen to the code for Bitcoin.
Okay. And of course, we're going to talk more about blockchain later, like in one of our other episodes, because that is, like I said, a very, it's a full topic to wrap your brain around, So, oh my gosh. So
well, it's really the magic behind Bitcoin.
Okay. Okay, cool. I can't wait to hear more about that. So Coinbase, is that one you would recommend? It's just coinbase.com where people can kind of get started. It doesn't cost anything to get started, right? They just go right in there and
free account. You can go play and set it up. It's really easy to learn. I start people off there. It's the largest exchange in the United States. If it's slow or down, be patient. That's because there's a lot of people that are trading on it. I know that they're working on building up their infrastructure so they can handle more traffic. But it's the easiest to understand, especially if you're green and new to the cryptocurrency world. I typically move people into GDAX, which is a sister company of Coinbase from there. But there's literally hundreds of different exchanges that you can use depending on where you're in the world to purchase and sell Bitcoin.
Well, how do you know if an exchange is a reputable one or not?
It's a great question.
I thought so.
One of the biggest is we've got a list of resources on our page. We've got 3 or 4 exchanges on our site that you can take a look at. And you can if you go to cryptocurrencyduediligence.com, that'll take you to our site and our resources page. But the really is just doing your due diligence, understanding what it is, and recognizing that some of the exchanges that are out there are very complex. They're designed for day traders. And if you don't understand that kind of stuff, stick with some of the simpler platforms like Coinbase, like GDAX, because it will be less confusing for you in the long run, because there is a little bit of technical know-how that you need to understand. But once you understand it and you've done it a couple of times, it becomes super simple.
Well, it's like when you learn how to drive a car, you had to learn all these little steps. There's so much to it. And then after a while, it's like it just becomes second nature. And I'm sure to you, it's probably just second nature now. You talk about it, you understand everything you're talking about.
This is my life 24/7 right now, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. This is what I talk about.
Cool. I love it. I love it.
I highly recommend that you either do additional due diligence or talk further with your financial advisor to find something that is within your comfort zone.
And that's so true. Like just with anything else, you always want to do your own due diligence, because even though Justin's here, that's what he does, and you still want to do your own due diligence. So you can't say, well, I did it because he said. No, it's you're making your own decisions. You're a big girl, you're a big boy. You make your own decisions. So go do your own research. So really quickly, you did touch on the Lucius dollar, and that is an ICO coming out, because somebody actually asked a question earlier, is what is an ICO? So if you can explain what an ICO is and then talk about Lucius dollar really quick. And I put a link to Lucius dollar at Crypto2. Livinglive.tv/crypto2 will bring you to Lucius dollar. And it's an ICO coming out. This is exciting. I just heard about it yesterday. Tell me about it.
So full disclaimer, I actually am the advisor for Lucius Dollar. I am our firm is the corporate counterintelligence firm for Lucius Dollar. We're actually protecting the company to make sure they don't get involved with the wrong people. Okay. So there's my full disclosure on that. I am actively involved with that company. It is an ICO, which is an interactive coin offering, and is actually it's an actual coin that has value already. and the exchange and the exchange that is getting launched will go live in April, where people will be able to continue to buy and sell it, exchange it. There will be a lending program associated with it where people will be able to lend their Lucius dollars and earn interest on that. Very similar to DevoreCoin and some other ones that are out there. But we're super excited because it is literally, Lucius Coin is revolutionizing the cryptocurrency banking system. So super, super excited about it. You can go read the white paper on the link that Lynda shared. Read the white paper, do your due diligence. Full disclosure again, I'm on the advisory board as part of from the corporate counterintelligence section, and ICOs are extremely risky, high risk. So make sure you know what you're doing before you get involved with any ICO.
So is it somewhat to an IPO, initial public offering, or not at all?
Not at all, because IPOs deal with securities. Initial coin offerings. Now, there are some initial coin offerings out there that are securities, but the Lucius.
We lost him. Oh, darn it. Okay. Well, we are going to continue. Yeah, I lost you there. Shoot. You dropped off for about 10 seconds or so. Okay. So the Lucius, the ICO as opposed to the IPO, the difference again on that.
Awesome. So real quick, the difference is that an IPO is actually when a company does an IPO and you purchase their public offering, you're actually buying equity into the company.
Okay.
With an interactive coin offering, such as Lucius Dollar, you are actually purchasing a coin that has a value of itself. You are not buying into a company. Okay, so there is no equity. It is not a security. Now, that's not to say there are some ICOs out there that are being used as a security. Okay, and there's lots of information out there that the SEC has pretty much come out and said we don't know. We till Congress tells us how to regulate it and what to do with it, we don't know. But there are ICOs out there that have been taken down because they were actual securities and they didn't structure their coin offering right and got into some trouble. So as long as the ICO is not a security, again, do your due diligence. Make sure you know exactly what you're getting involved with.
Just like anything, right?
Do your due diligence.
Yeah. And again, we have our disclaimer that we are not financial advisors, and there's just two people talking about the hot topic out there, cryptocurrency. So if you're interested in finding out more information, you can reach out to Justin. I realized I didn't put your website out there. So what is your website again?
Cryptocurrencyduediligence.com.
Okay, cryptocurrencyduediligence.com, and I'll add it to the top for sure. So you guys can reach out to Justin, or I put a couple links down below that take you to Lucius Dollar, which is the one that's the ICO that's coming out, or it's actually the ICO is out, right? I'm not sure if I said the terms right.
We're in pre-ICO phase right now.
Pre-ICO phase. And then also we will be talking about some of the companies that were like fly by night. They came out really quick and they're gone already. And then how can you detect that? I heard there's about 95% of the companies out there that are not legitimate. And so we want to tap into that. I'm going to talk to Justin. We're going to ask him all these questions about cryptocurrency. If you have any questions that you want me to ask in particular, you can go to livinglive.tv/crypto questions. There's a questionnaire. You just fill it out, and you're not required to answer any of the questions there. Ask any questions if you don't want, but it's all private. I won't even know who you are unless you tell me who you are. So it's all private. So you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Justin, again, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next Tuesday at 2:30 Pacific time, and I'm looking forward to it. Let's do it.
Happy holidays.
Let's do a little bit of snow. There we go.
Snowy.
There we go. That little Santa. There we go.
Thank you, Lynda.
Okay, everybody. Happy holidays. We'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Bye-bye.